Longtime fans of the show should be familiar with the lender formerly known as Sue Pullen, and I'm pleased to announce that she's back, fresh off a rebrand and ready to help as Sue Mackey. Sue is a certified mortgage advisor at Fairway Independent Mortgage, an equal housing lender who focuses on finding the right product for you and your needs. She has over 20 years of experience helping thousands of homeowners. Whether it's purchasing, refinancing, or even a reverse mortgage, Sue will help. Sue's licensed in 36 states now, so reach out and let Sue Mackey it happen for you. The best way to reach her is just give her a call at 520-977-7904 or in an email, spullen@fairwaymc.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage has an MLS number of 2289. Sue Mackey has an MLS number of 206048. That email again, spullen@fairwaymc.com, and that phone number is 520-977-7904. Shoot Sue an email and let her know she needs to update that address.
You are listening to an entertainment program put together by a company called Financial Ineptitude. Anything said on this show is not an endorsement or professional advice. Would you really want to tell a court of law you were suing us because you thought taking financial advice from two idiots on a podcast put out by Financial Ineptitude was a good idea? Really? Clown hat smiley face.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the China Shop. I'm Shopkeeper Dan. With me, as always, is Kyle, creator of FinancialIneptitude.com, general badass extraordinaire, and all-around great guy. How are you doing today, Kyle?
I'm flattered. What did I do to deserve that?
I don't know. I just felt like pumping you up.
Oh, well, thank you. We should pump you up, though. Winner of M Period Challenge. Taking the throne from Paul. We forgot to. I don't think we mentioned Paul last week, did we?
I don't know. Yeah, Paul kicked ass last week.
Yeah, he did. I love his comment at the end too. It's like, I have no interest in trading this shit for real.
All right. Well, that's probably why you're able to do well at it, Paul.
Exactly.
You're not so emotionally invested. Yeah. Oh, come on into the shop with us today, folks. Sit back, relax, hedge against that rage machine. We'd like to welcome any new listeners just joining us. We know you're out there. Welcome. We're here smashing our way through a complete set of fine china, sharing our ever-growing strategies for trying to maximize gains and cut those losses. If you are new to the shop and stock trading both in general, you should probably pause this episode, go check out our knowledge and resource centers on financialineptitude.com, or give one of our many beginner trading episodes a listen. Kyle, we gotta record another beginner episode here soon.
Yeah, you mentioned you might have somebody lined up.
I do. I'm gonna double confirm that and actually get like a date set up. But I think it's a good time to go back over the basics.
Yes,
just a refresher on general stock trading and investing.
Every time we do one of those anyway, I always feel like I learn again. So yes. I am 100% on board with that.
Yeah, we got to do that. Well, we'll have all those links for you there in the episode description. But the best place to be is head on over, check out our Discord server. We get on there every day with a bunch of really amazing, awesome people. And it's totally free. No paid tiers or special access areas, because fuck that shite. But when you do join that server, we do have one small ask, and that's one small ask. Send us a private message with your email.
Mailing address.
Send us a private message or an email with your mailing address. There we go. I knew I could get it. And we can send you some smash it yourself swag straight from the shop.
You know what? Actually, just send me an email with the mailing address. I'll do it that way. You don't even have to join the Discord.
Oh, wow. You think there's some shy folks out there that want some swag? They just don't want to join Discord?
I think there's enough people who don't know how Discord works. Like, I can't even figure out Instagram. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some people who don't want to deal with the headache of it.
That's a really good point. So just shoot Kyle an email at 2bulls@financialineptitude.com. That's the number 2, BULLS, at financialineptitude.com. FinancialIneptitude.com. I need to drink some water.
Got some mush mouth going on, huh?
Throat is getting thick. It's hot out there.
Yeah, I bet.
Milk was a bad choice.
Ooh. Hot milk? Ugh.
Anyway. We've got a washed, waxed, and wasted episode for you today. Lots of market moving news. Plenty of stocks on the radar. and brighter futures than the logo at Twitter. X. Wait, shit. One of them. It's a bird, and it's formerly Twitter.
Could someone explain to me why I didn't just go out and buy Twix? If he wanted to brand something, like, that seems perfect.
Oh my goodness. I think M&M Mars might be big enough to buy them.
You think?
Oh no, I'm going to have to look that up. Well, M&M Mars is owned by
that's
a
like
parent
Nestle,
company,
isn't
like
it?
a Nestle. Yeah, Nestle's definitely big enough to buy Twitter. That'd be awesome.
Let's see. What's the market cap of Nestle? Okay, I just asked the internet. The internet says 277 billion. Yes, you are right.
All right.
Damn,
I'm asking ChatGPT what it was. It was 325 billion in 2021, according to ChatGPT.
He could totally buy Twix, though. It only brings in 170 million in sales. You slap on a 10x multiplier on that. I think they'd go for it.
Yeah. Well, it's a little late now.
Yeah.
And moving on, reach out to us, folks. We love your messages and comments on Twitter and Facebook. We got over on our Discord. Got the link to the episode description. If you're old school, you can send us an email at twobulls@financialineptitude.com. That's the number 2, BULLS, at financialineptitude.com. Maybe you got a hot stock tip. Maybe you want to tell us about a great trade you just made. Or maybe you're a scientist studying a captured hairless ape. When the ape reveals it can speak fluently and claims it's really a traveler from a far-off world.
That one's a little too easy.
Yeah? No.
I think so. Unless you're trying to trick us.
Mm-hmm.
Which version?
We'll see.
Okay. What was the last one? What was last week's?
You're just a kind, gentlemanly blind man living next door to a gang of hooligans who keep trying to sneak into your backyard and fuck with your dog.
I have no clue. I don't think I've seen that one.
That's the Sandlot from the James Earl Jones blind neighbor's point of view.
Damn it. Yeah, nice job. I have seen that.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh man, you're going off the beaten path with some of those.
Yeah.
Thanks for the curve or the layup, because I need to boost my stats here.
Yeah, you're all complaining like, "Oh, that's too easy." Wait, I haven't gotten one.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks.
All right. Let's talk about the whatever it is we talk about right here.
That's a stupid bet. We wanted to short USM, although one of us did propose a long scenario. I just want to point that out. It did open Monday. It did start going.
Wait. I don't remember which one of us.
Not you. It opened up on Monday at 33. We had a take profit at 30, and it missed that by a little bit. I think it bottomed out just below 31. But then on Tuesday, it gapped up and hit our stop loss at 35, like minutes later. So,
wow.
Yeah, the only nice thing it did was made all the math nice and easy because it opened on a whole number too. That takes our total to 472.14. And random went with MDC, which opened at $50.84 and closed Friday at $49.81, giving random $491.39.
It's a hell of an earnings for United States Cellular Corporation.
I know. Damn. Too bad we didn't have that 5% trail go on from the beginning, because I think we would have actually made a little bit of money then.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's not every week a stock doubles.
Yeah. Overnight, almost.
More than doubles. I'm just saying.
A pullback was to be expected. It was just not quite as deep as we had hoped.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Random's got a bold pick for the end of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Sounds good to me.
All right, shall we move on? Show news? Is that the next thing? Or did I miss that?
Sorry, I was looking at stocks and I lost my script. Kyle, we got any show news to report?
Yeah, coming out on Monday, we've got Barry and Dan Habib, the father-son duo that runs the MBS Highway.
Nice.
The following week, Polly Walnuts will be making his first podcast appearance. Then after that, I've got Sean O'Malley, the chief editor and writer for We Study Markets at the Investors Podcast Network. I'm hoping to make a good friend on that episode, because that would be a fun network to get involved with.
Oh, yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what's on the docket.
got some good stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, maybe we talk a little bit about some news.
All right. Let me hit the music.
Dow drops deep on moving inflation, COVID frustration, war damnation. We're just bringing you the fucking news. You gotta recognize the game if you don't wanna lose. We're just two bulls trading information.
Yeah, we are.
Rioters raiding, insider trading, taxes are raising, bills on the hill. We got a crypto mill. No, they ain't growing weed. When the Fed speaks today, it's some shit we don't need.
Sing it, Dan.
Two bulls trading information.
What?
Two bulls trading information.
I'm inclined to agree.
Two bulls trading information.
That is accurate. Very accurate.
Well, which we start with, then?
I had a headline that caught my eye.
What was that?
Was don't be fooled by rising consumer price data.
Oh, I think I got that same story.
Take a peek behind the numbers. Oh, what was your headline?
Don't be fooled by the uptick in inflation, economist says. Prices are falling, and the Fed now has ammo to pause its rate hikes.
Well, hot damn! You actually posted that first in the Discord, and I posted mine, and I thought it was a duplicate.
Oh, is it not?
And it's a story about the same thing, but mine's from CNN Business, and yours is from MSN Business.
And they can't possibly have the same. Who's the economist they're talking to in yours?
Julia Pollock.
Yep, that's the
Chief
same story.
economist for ZipRecruiter.
It's the same story. And that was the main reason why I grabbed this, is because, like, hang on, wait a minute. You guys are referencing, like, another person who has probably a little more sway, or whose thoughts probably mean a little bit more. Rick Ryder, the BlackRock CIO of Global Fixed Income and head of their global allocation investment team. And the only person you can get was the ZipRecruiter's chief economist.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was whatever this story is pushing. Like, I don't know. I think you could have gotten get me Mohammed El Araim, then I'll listen to you.
Yeah, you don't think inflation's slowing despite what the numbers say?
I mean, I do believe that is the case, but I think there's another problem that's going to lead to some more troubles for the stock market going forward, and that's my next story.
Oh, well, and we probably both have stories about that too.
What does
that
have to do with the investors bracing for turbulence as the Fed balance sheet shrinks by another $1 trillion?
Holy shit, it's exactly about, by the way, the Fed is still shrinking their balance sheet.
What in the hell is going on? We're on the same page today.
You know what? It's all of the watching the videos together all week and doing the Dom practicing all week.
We just synced up our internet search history.
Yeah, we just yeah.
Google can't tell the difference between us anymore.
That's right.
Well, this one, I don't know if you fully read your stories. I definitely read this one, the Financial Times one about the balance sheet, and that one looks a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they still want to reduce like another 1.5 trillion, and the problem is that, like, right now the banks are so flush with cash that they're able to absorb that lack of buying that the Fed is no longer doing, because they're not replacing these long-term debts that they've been purchasing this whole time. So, like, it hasn't really seen much of an effect yet, or it hasn't been noticeable. But once the rate hikes pause and as these companies start running out of their cash reserves, then we're really going to start to see what the effect of this quantitative tightening has.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, though, we did see that banking crisis in March.
Mm-hmm.
The Fed stepped in. They injected about $400 billion of liquidity to contain that. So while they're shrinking their balance sheet, they're not scared to spend.
Yes, that is true.
You know, so I'm not as, I mean, obviously it's going to have an effect, but I'm not as spooked when I keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to keep a watch on is going to be the, I'm trying to find where it was in here. It has to do with the repo
the repo. The fuck do you call that? The repo market? The
Yeah.
reverse repo facilities? I think the reverse repo facilities. Like there's still banks and the people who use that are still putting a shitload of money into that. Every night, 1.8 trillion is going into there. So there's still a lot of excess cash in the system.
Wow.
So I think paying attention to that, those numbers, once you start to see that coming down significantly, then I think it's time to worry, or the Fed will have to start worrying.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. You got any more?
No, that was pretty much the bulk of what I had.
The last one I had was measuring of inflation.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually talk about what the numbers were, did we?
No, we didn't hit the numbers.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, the easiest to communicate, most meaningful number was part of a headline on CNN. Families are spending $709 more per month than they were 2 years ago.
Ooh, that is significant.
That is very significant. With the same, to buy the same goods and services.
Damn
So
it.
that's the cumulative impact of
Yeah.
inflation, right? Even though it's slowing down, that's $710 a month 2 years ago was like. I wish I could save that much and dollar cost average the S&P.
Right. The crazy thing about inflation is it's so misleading. Like you think like, oh, we're at 9%, so inflation is coming down from like a year ago. Well, it's still going up though. Like
Yeah, it's just going up slower.
yeah, it's just going up slower. So inflation is still here. It's still present. It still hurts. And the whatever happened, 2 years ago is I think it's here to stay unless we somehow get to a disinflation cycle, and don't know
Which
how that
economists
happens.
don't like.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants that.
It wrecks us in international trade.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Like it really, really wrecks us.
yeah. I just wish the Fed would stop trying to stop wage growth. Like, how
Yeah.
about we just tell people to save money? If you want to help inflation, don't buy so much. Put some money in the savings account. Try that for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm cutting out fast food. Not just, well, mostly pushed by the blood test that came back from the doctor telling me
Ooh.
about my cholesterol. But that's one thing I realized. Like I've been eating less fast food anyway. Like the more I cook at home,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the thing is, it seems like fast food sometimes is still cheaper than like trying to go buy groceries.
It can absolutely. I mean, the frozen French fries prices are just about to where they are at fast food. They're not even prepared.
Right, right,
I get an extra large French fries at McDonald's and like this is about what I'm getting in a bag of French fries these days.
right. Yeah, because it keeps shrinking all the packages.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's factored into this whole inflation thing, is the shrinking of all the stuff that you used to get.
yeah. It's a good question. I do know that if you look at one year over year, last year the gain was $536. This year it's been 202. So it has slowed.
Yeah,
And that 536 number included when gas spiked above $5 a gallon.
yeah. And I think some of this too, or I think a lot of it is services from what was driving like this latest reading. Am I remembering that right? Like services were still like increasing higher than expected.
Yeah, they didn't touch on that in my story.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, fuck. That sucks. Anything happy to end on before we move on?
I was just gonna say maybe we can let some advertisements cheer us up.
Yeah. Well, remember what I said about not spending money? uh,
Do as I say. No, wait. Do as I do. Not wait.
Just wait until after this message.
Longtime fans of the show should be familiar with the lender formerly known as Sue Pullen, and I'm pleased to announce that she's back, fresh off a rebrand and ready to help as Sue Mackey. Sue is a certified mortgage advisor at Fairway Independent Mortgage, an equal housing lender who focuses on finding the right product for you and your needs. She has over 20 years of experience helping thousands of homeowners. Whether it's purchasing, refinancing, or even a reverse mortgage, Sue will help. Sue's licensed in 36 states now, so reach out and let Sue Mackey it happen for you. The best way to reach her is to just give her a call at 520-977-7904 or in an email, spullen@fairwaymc.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage has an MLS number of 2289. Sue Mackey has an MLS number of 206048. That email again, spullen@fairwaymc.com. And that phone number is 520-977-7904. Shoot Sue an email and let her know she needs to update that address. Okay, it's start now.
Okay, yeah.
All right, should we play some stock music?
Yeah, let's talk about some stocks. Stock time!
Now it's talk about stocks time. Looking for setups, it's still not advice. Big moves, fresh news and earnings. All that we're saying, it's still not advice. Stock time.
Please don't say
Okay, can I go first?
Yeah.
I have a great one that Laura found. Zoom, the company that made remote work possible. Basically, I have to say they're probably like the ones that kind of kicked off that whole fad, right?
Yeah.
Or at least they benefited the most from it.
They sure helped their stock.
Yeah. Well, guess what they're doing now? They are demanding their employees return to the office. A Zoom spokesperson said to Business Insider, quote, "We believe that a structured hybrid approach, meaning employees that live near an office need to be on-site 2 days a week to interact with their teams, is most effective for Zoom. We'll continue to leverage the entire Zoom platform to keep our employees and dispersed teams connected and working efficiently." But apparently they have a really loose definition of what near means. They consider anything within 50 miles or 80 kilometers as close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's ironic, right? I think that's actually irony.
No, irony is the use of words with
To
an
express
intended
something
meaning.
other than their...
To express something other than their literal intention.
Damn it, so that's just coincidence.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence. Yeah.
All right, shit. Well, I'll try again. All right. Well, what else you got?
Well, I got a couple feel good stories. Have you ever heard of Barstool Sports?
Yes, Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. He sold his Barstool Sports to Penn Entertainment. I believe their stock ticker is PENN.
Yeah, I know Penn.
Yeah,
Penn's big into the gambling, like sports betting, aren't they?
Yes, which is what Barstool was doing, right?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought he was an investor or something. Because wasn't he like throwing money on like GameStop during that whole meme stop craze?
He may have. But from what I understood is he was the guy who started Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Sold it to Penn Entertainment. Well, Penn Entertainment sold it back to him. I mean, they just bought this thing from him, right?
Uh-huh.
6 months ago. They bought all of Barstool. They started with a small stake, and they bought him out 6 months ago, and now they sold it back to him for a fucking dollar.
What?
A fucking dollar. Because instead, they have purchased from Disney the ESPN brand for their online sports betting.
But why do they need to get rid of... What does that have to do with this? Oh, because they didn't get the gaming license.
It's speculated that because of him, they couldn't get a gaming license in the state of New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, fucking good deal for fucking Portnoy.
Talk about, like, wow, profiting off being an ass.
It's like winning the lottery twice.
They're like, we know we bought this brand from you, but it's kind of tainted. So here, you can just here.
Yeah, you can have it back, Fred. Here's your dollar. Give us $1. You need something.
one of the articles, because I read a few before I found one that didn't lock it out for the sharing.
Yeah.
This one it's in a deal that would make Wall Street's fictional Duke brothers proud.
I love that.
We were just talking about trading places.
Yeah. That was the movie reference last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not losing my mind.
Oh, we just did that one.
Oh, somebody at Penn is.
Yeah. Holy shit. That's so weird to me.
Like, I'm pretty sure you could have got more than $1.
Right? Like, what's
Yeah.
I don't understand. Something fishy about that. This is
really fishy. It's some what the pay
I
attention
think that's
to this.
why they mentioned the Duke brothers. Like, they were like, this is suspicious.
Well, those guys were above board. I thought they were well respected.
Right. Hey, they created jobs, such as the job of leaking crop reports.
Yes. High-paying jobs too, if I understand correctly. All right. Let's see. I got another good one.
Okay.
Nvidia has been seeing some downturn. Guess who people are blaming?
AMD.
No. It's obviously got to be Kramer's fault.
Wait, Nvidia is struggling because of Jim Cramer? He's so powerful.
I know, right?
What?
Okay, so there's.
How does that work?
I don't know. On Wednesday, China's Baidu, TikTok owner ByteDance, Tencent, and Alibaba have collectively made orders worth $1 billion to acquire about 100,000 A800 processors from Nvidia to be delivered this year. So a massive order. That's about $4 billion worth of GPUs to be delivered in 2024. But even with that good news coming out, the stock tanked 5% June 9 and was down slightly pre-market June 10. Investors pointed out, though, what they think the problem was. Kramer was on CNBC touting NVIDIA after the company offered all the details on its second-gen AI-powering Grace Hopper superchip. And despite the fact that the company's stock has tripled in 2023, Kramer thinks the stock has more room to run. And that's the cardinal sin for the inverse Kramer crowd, because they believe any stock he chooses is bound to be deceased just because Kramer picked it.
Yeah, that may have been true for a while, but then he learns that, right? Like, he can't stay ignorant of that.
Right.
And then he can use that against him.
I don't know why they're referencing June 9th on a story that came out yesterday. That's a little annoying.
Is it a slow news weekend? I think it is with my next story, but we'll get there. I actually think that he can really exploit any kind of anti-Kramer effect.
Well, I mean, let's look at the fucking chart here. On June 9th, the dates that they referenced there, it was trading at under $400. And then less than a month later, it was already touching new all-time highs up at 460s.
Damn.
So, yeah, I have to say he looks like he was right on this one.
Yeah, we've had a pullback, but it's not the end of the world pullback.
Yeah, it still hasn't come back to his entry.
Yeah. If you entered in June, you're still green.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it's fun to shit on Kramer, I don't think he deserves this one.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't
have that much power.
He admitted that something that they would do, not in that Jon Stewart interview.
Yeah.
He never said, this is the only thing we do.
I know, right?
The only thing I did, right?
Yeah.
It was a thing. It was a possibility. It's like, this is a tool in my toolbox.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, he's an ass.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And I talked to, I can't remember who that was. I talked to somebody who'd worked with him, been on his show multiple times, and she said that he's one of the nicest people she's ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he always comes off so pompous when I see him on TV.
What? You think his TV personality is a reflection of who he is?
Oh, damn. You're right.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Fuck. Well, not when you put it that way.
I know. All right. Where are we at?
Elon Musk auctioned off a bunch of Twitter branded stuff in an auction.
I thought I saw something about that.
Yeah. More than 600 items, including neon signs that flash the Twitter logo, giant hashtag, an @ symbol, branded furniture, like the Twitter bird on like coffee tables and sofas and shit.
Wow. Why? I just don't understand what he's doing with this company.
I part of me feels like, I know this is really tinfoil hat, but this Twitter was used all over the world in civil unrest situations, from the Middle East to France, and Europe, and Russia. People have used Twitter to organize. San Francisco, all over America, people use Twitter to organize. And I think he's shutting it down. I think he's like, I'll just tank the fucking company, and then people all over the world can't organize. Full Bond villain.
Yeah, but they're just going to move to something else.
We'll see. I hope so. It hasn't happened yet. There's been no competitor. It's still lost a big chunk of its user base.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, they haven't shown up elsewhere. It's just, the person that uses many social media outlets, now they're using one less.
But he's been instituting some changes that I think some of them have been nice. And then he's also instituted a revenue sharing program too, which is kind of interesting. Earning money by creating popular posts.
Yeah, that's good for society.
But of course, you got to hit 5 million views. So good luck with that.
Remember what the news used to be like in the 80s and 90s?
No.
Before it went 24 hours.
And I never watched the news until we started this podcast. I'm not even joking.
Oh my God. You remember that movie Anchorman 2?
I was like that.
Like that. Yeah. Before when the news didn't turn a profit, it was very boring and very informative and not controversial.
Yeah.
The moment we shifted to for-profit news programs,
mm-hmm.
Everything has gotten worse in society.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like we got this 24-hour news cycle, and it's like talk about something. At the beginning of television, the big three stations were forced to have news programs. In order to get a broadcasting license, they had to have X amount of hours be public service, news informative. And
that I was your age.
God damn it.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. I feel like Twitter's like instead, like it's bad. It was already a popularity contest, and now we got money involved.
Yeah. But also
it's going to be tits and cats.
Yes.
I really wanted to say it's going to be titties and pussies, but I didn't think people would understand.
I mean, you're right. You're probably right. I mean, that's what sells, right?
Yeah.
People love cats.
People love cats. And dogs. Apologies for all the dog lovers. They love cute animals.
Yeah.
I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Tons of cute animals. Total pandering.
Are you tired of having just one source of annoyance in your life? Well, look no further, because Twex is here to shatter your tranquility. Twitter, the platform that taught us brevity is the soul of wit, now collaborates with Twix to bring you 280 characters of chocolate-coated confusion. Share your mundane escapades and receive instant feedback from strangers who just happen to be experts on everything. Twex is the sanctuary where every thought, no matter how trivial, can find a home. Twix, the delightful candy bar that's been a snack time staple, is now infused with the experience of endlessly scrolling through tweets that make you question the fate of humanity. Now you can experience the joy of savoring caramel and chocolate without simultaneously wondering if your time would be better spent arguing with bots about the color of the sky. Twex, fueling chaos one bite at a time. Twex cannot be held responsible for any loss of sanity, IQ points, or friends due to consumption or sharing our products. Use at your own risk.
All right, should we move on?
Yep.
All right, is it time for crypto, I think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about crypto.
I'm excited for this one.
I got some crypto in my wallet, hanging out on my Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, I got some crypto in my wallet, some Doji, Sushi, Polkadot, NFT. Decentralized, anonymized, fabulous cryptocurrency.
Dan, I've got a story about our favorite personality in crypto. Sam Bankman-Fried has had his bail revoked.
No.
Yeah, there's probable cause that he attempted to tamper with witnesses.
No.
Is the guy who was following him around to write his book, is he still there? Because I cannot wait to read this thing if all this shit's going to be involved too.
It's like he just gets comfortable and forgets that he's there, right? Just
right.
It's like dialing up. Hey, don't you fucking testify. You fucking testify. I'll tear your goddamn throat. So
someone did a courtroom sketch, and I'm trying to see if I can find the ghostwriter next to him, but no, I don't think so. He was remanded, at least temporarily, to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn while the parties sort out the details of how he will review discovery materials ahead of his trial scheduled for October.
Following the ruling, he was handcuffed and escorted out of the courtroom, and the lawyers filed an immediate notice of appeal on Friday. They say that he needs access to a computer, but when he gets access to a computer, he's been using VPNs to subvert monitoring and speaking with reporters about his former executive, Carolyn Ellison, contacting potential witnesses, etc., etc., etc. So,
Whoa.
yeah, I think the biggest thing that kicked this off was the stuff that he leaked about the ex-girlfriend Ellison.
Yeah, he was smear campaign on her,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The Judge Kaplan sided with the prosecutors on the claim that he was, quote, covering his tracks when he leaked those personal documents to the Times by allowing a reporter to review them in person. Kaplan also added that leaking an ex-girlfriend's intimate writings would only be done to, quote, hurt, discredit, and frighten the subject of the material.
Yeah.
Agree with that? 100%.
Yeah. Wow. So they locked him up?
Yeah, or at least while they try to figure out how to move forward and give him access to a computer with probably supervised.
That's so weird to me that, you know what, that's such a, and it's such a generational thing too. They're like, okay, you use that computer to do your email. And he's just like,
No.
VPN, do whatever I
Yeah.
want.
It's like a kid that you try to put in timeout. You can't ground.
Right. Of course you can still use your phone. I might have to text you.
Yeah.
Just don't use it for things you're not supposed to.
Right. Yeah, so this whole SBF thing is getting very entertaining.
Wow. Yeah, he's going away for a long time.
I hope so.
It was the Wild West.
Yep.
Crypto was the Wild West, and so you got some real shady characters.
They're cleaning up this town.
Right? Somebody's got to come in and clean this town.
Yeah. All right, you got anything for crypto?
I'm wishing I'd photoshopped a 6-shooter in Gary Gensler's hand.
Oh, Jesus.
Now.
Yeah, right.
For this,
look at this sheriff hat.
Of my story. Yeah. Clean up this town. So, there's been this big race to get a Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
An actual spot Bitcoin fund.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Kathy Wood's ARK Invest had a filing. The deadline for the SEC to make a decision was August 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And the SEC has kicked the can down the road. They're like, we need more time.
Jeez.
So they're seen as the first in line, and they was thought that we would finally get a decision here soon, but apparently they're not. And it wasn't even ARK that filed. It was the options exchange that filed with the SEC for the rule change that would allow them to list.
Oh, damn! And now they're saying the process could stretch into 2024. Oh God, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
You had plenty of time to make a decision here.
I'm trying to think, like, what if any of the ways that you want to define it. If you want to define it as a commodity, if you want to define it as a collectible, like a baseball card, if you want to define it as a digital currency, what is preventing any of those three definitions from having a spot fund ETF?
I have no idea.
Like, if it's any one of the three, it's still eligible, isn't it?
I would think so. I mean, you have spot funds, ETFs that track plenty of other commodities, so that's not the
every
thing.
Commodity. You've got every currency,
right?
Is it? Can I not? We've got it's art. Like, is it illegal? Can I not have like a Picasso ETF?
I don't know.
Let's we should reach out to Ray and Yellow Man.
Make them do the work. Make them ask ChatGPT.
No, Kyle, you're totally framing it wrong.
Oh.
Not make them do the work. It's I think Ray just knows so much more about art than we do, and Yellow Man just has all the contacts to look in the shady, dark corners of the web.
Has he gotten back from China yet?
It's a long bike ride.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. I think we sent him out.
I guess maybe you can't have a baseball card ETF.
I don't know about baseball, but I thought I'd seen something where like people are selling like investments in wine and art.
but I don't think they're ETFs necessarily. There's some kind of investment vehicle that people have been putting together. They look like scams to me, but what do I know?
Right. I don't know. If you can have an ETF that buys silver, why can't you have an ETF that buys Picasso paintings? They're more
Right.
finite.
Probably because the value is a lot more subjective.
How so? Because
Hmm.
silver's got a manufacturer value, but we know that's not the price of metals alone.
Yeah.
There's a subjective element.
Maybe. Yeah, I suppose.
Hmm.
No, I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Anyway,
We'd probably have to ask somebody who makes ETFs.
just asking questions, man.
Yeah.
Just asking questions.
All right. All right. Well, is that Gensler in the?
Yeah.
Is that Gary standing behind you?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Gary. Is that? God!
Oh, goddamn! He got me too.
Oh, fuck. Sheriff Gary's in town. He is not essing around.
Okay. No Bitcoin ETFs. We understand.
Didn't want to buy a Bitcoin ETF anyway.
Wasn't going to either. Still supposed to talk about it. Jeez.
Oh.
All right, Dan. Well, so hopefully we have a little more time to talk good, bad, and ugly this week. I don't have really any good, bads, or uglies because I didn't do any trading, but still thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about some of the stuff that we learned while we were.
We did take some time off to rewatch some videos and recenter ourselves. I admit I did dabble in. I did make a few trades on Friday morning, but I was ready.
Yeah, I was ready to trade Friday too, but I decided to. I had told myself last week that I wasn't going to trade for the whole week, so for me it was important to keep that commitment. I don't think you made any such promise to yourself.
I was just like, yeah, I need to take some time off. Need to take the week off. I might have said the week. I don't know.
I don't know about you, Dan, but like the start of the week, I was feeling a lot of feelings of like not moving forward, like, oh, like I'm not doing my job anymore now. And by the end of it, like come like Wednesday, Thursday, then suddenly it was like exciting again. I was getting excited on the things that I was back testing. I was getting excited and watching the videos with you. We were doing a lot of replay on Dom, like practicing ourselves, like the stuff that we were watching. Like,
Careful, don't get too emotional. We got to be robots. Got to be robots out there.
Yeah, I mean that's always the feeling. That feeling at the very beginning is what always stops me from doing these things when I need to. And I'm just so glad that like having you there to help me recognize that I needed it. Like I feel like I could have probably tried to push that like another 2 weeks and just kept floundering worse and worse and worse. If I hadn't been able to pull myself out of that cycle.
Well, good. That's awesome, and I'm glad to be here. I was telling Jamie Lynn earlier. I was like, this week's been really good for me and Kyle because when we're trading together, it's like we're hunting as a pack, or even doubles tennis. Like we have to practice together if we're going to trade together, and watching the videos at the same time.
Yes,
and doing Dom replays together at the same time, I feel like it has been a big part of the ability to have such growth this week.
Yes. And like things are just starting to like click, it feels like this week too.
Reading that Wyckoff book and then watching the Vico videos, it's like, whoa.
That Wyckoff book, the Wyckoff 2.0 was the one that I had. Oh, man. Like you have the one that's actually explaining the methodology of the trading. Like this is just kind of like a revisit and refresher on it. So I'm going to have to read yours next.
Yeah, mine's called The Wyckoff Methodology in Depth.
Yeah.
By Ruben Villahermosa.
But that's made me completely like change the way that I look at balance, the way I look at accumulations and like what
rotations.
Like it's put me in the mindset of what the big money traders are trying to do. And like I think the realization finally hit that they're trying to manipulate our emotions. The other traders' emotions. And that realization I think has really helped like solidify to me that like when I know that somebody's trying to manipulate me, then I fight back against it. And then now I finally have something that I can use that rebel spirit to put it to good use and let it work for me. Like, okay, we're not going to let these guys manipulate our emotions.
Right. On one of my playbacks and on one of my trades this morning, I had my stop set, and then I had that similar thinking in mind. And I thought to myself, they know where your stops are, Dan. So I moved my stops up another like 2 points, and then I put 3 entries where my stops were.
Ah, nice.
And they fucker, I both times I did it, they ran the stops. I got stopped out on a couple of my 1 or 2 each time of my initial entry, but I got all my new entries, and then the move went on in my direction. And it was like, ha! And before, I would just get stopped out and be like, and then it moved without me. What the? And I get really emotional and fucking call it a day.
That liquidity flush, man.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's real. It's real. Then
I'll tell you what really solidified it for me was reviewing all those trades from last Friday, the ones that were my ugly from the past week. Like I could literally like see the footprints of my emotional state going on through the trade log. Like, oh, here I am trying to fade a strong bullish move. Too soon. Oh, here's where I finally got pissed off at being stopped out trying to fade this thing, and I decided it must be time to go long.
Yep.
Oh, and look at that. I'm going long right into the resistance that I should have been waiting for this entire time.
Right.
Yeah,
man.
So I'm really excited for next week.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
I'm excited to be at a place where we can observe the process and pick way better entries. I didn't have a bad, but I did have what I think of is an ugly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When we were watching one of the Trade Pro videos, I went back and reloaded that same date and time to replay it myself. And I noticed my numbers on the DOM were not the same as Vico's.
Oh, that's right.
I was getting tiny numbers. And I mentioned something to you, and you were like, oh, yeah, I had to go down that rabbit hole a while back. You have to go switch this setting to where it doesn't auto update every 0 seconds. It waits 2,500 milliseconds. And if there's another trade, it adds it to that number.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
I've been looking at numbers one at a time instead of looking at them at like groups of 5 and 10. Holy shit.
It's pretty impressive you managed to do as well as you did with that setting the way it was, actually.
Right? I had that month positive of sim trades.
Yeah, I know. You almost passed a couple email accounts.
Right? Oh, so it was really ugly that it took me this long to figure that out. It has been remedied, and I expect this week to go quite better than
so what that
than I was doing.
What that tells me is that you're really good at spotting reactivity.
Right, because I was spotting it without seeing the big numbers,
without seeing the absorptions. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you straight up, it almost isn't the amount of numbers. It's the speed of the movement. You know, that's if I really sit on my hands and wait for that and then enter, like the odds of a winning trade go way up.
Yeah, that I can see that in all the notes there, all the logs that I've been taking, everything that I've done.
Yep.
You exclude that reactivity, and then suddenly everything looks shitty.
Yeah. And I programmed a bot that's positive, but I'm like, I could do better than this bot. I can do better than this bot. That's where I'm at. I'm like, now they fixed my DOM. Yeah, fuck that bot. I'm doing it.
The thing about the bot is it can work while you're sleeping.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll do one Apex account. I'll let the bot go at it, and then
see who does better.
See who gets funded first.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we move on to the bet?
Do we have to? Can we hold cash?
I think we want to. Well, we don't have to actually take a trade. I've got one that I actually like.
Oh,
though.
Okay. What is it?
Well, let me play the song first.
Okay. Let's hear that song.
Call that a teaser.
I need it, wanna beat it, gonna win it if I take it from you. I'm filling my positions, quit your bitching, random's gonna lose. chart full of levels and a stop that's not too tight. It's bet picking time in the shop, so pick 'em right.
Speaking of stops, after listening to that song again, I think the stops you had last week were actually right in the perfect spot.
Really?
Because when I flipped over to it on Tuesday, I watched it rotating there before it took us out for quite some time, it seemed like.
Okay.
So somebody showed up there to try to defend it.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. But the one that I'm watching, that I'm looking at is Triple M.
Triple M.
The guys who make the Post-it notes.
3M Company.
I have a balance area that I've drawn that basically goes from 96 to, say, 105.
I see it.
Um,
Okay.
I have prices tried to escape the top a couple times. It just recently tested the bottom, came up, broke out of that pretty aggressively on that earnings, but now it is rotating back inside that value area.
I want to buy puts.
Yep.
No, I mean, I'm writing down a note right now for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
I got
catch.
this on my paper trade for the options.
Good catch. Good catch.
So I'm targeting basically the midpoint of here. Probably start with like 100.
Yeah. And then 98.
I was going to go 97, try to get down closer to the bottom, but yeah, 98 probably works.
Okay. Well, there's that little gap right there, right? Not gap, little drop in the volume profile.
Oh, okay. I was doing this without volume profile, so if you got a better spot to pick, then 98 works for me.
It could stall out at 98 and pop back up to the top of the distribution. Hey, I mean, it could do it at 102 or 100 as well, but odds are it's going to hit that other side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Where would you stick the stop on this one then?
106.75.
Give it room just in case it pops that. That Thursday.
You're leaning on that node.
Actually, what happened on Thursday, I think, just makes this look even better. Because you look, they tried to push it back up out of there, and they soundly rejected that.
Yeah.
The sellers did.
Look at that wick.
Yeah.
Daily.
I like this one. All right, so yeah, short take profit 100, take profit 98, stops to break even.
That sounds good.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say we could also go long the Livent Corporation, LTHM. If you want to look at that chart for a second, I think it's in a nice little distribution channel, testing the floor.
Got to zoom way out to catch the whole. That is a big area. How long do you think it'll take for that trade to play out?
Oh, well, probably longer than a week.
Dang, I do kind of like this one too. I think I'd want it a little bit lower though.
I have shares of LTHM. That's why I watch it.
Oh,
and I'm like, do I want to pick up some calls? They did the Wyckoff test to the bottom. I think it's the shakeout. I'm watching it because if that 22 half holds, ooh boy, we're gonna see 26, and that's some good options.
I think I like Triple M just because I'm feeling like the markets aren't quite done going down a little bit. I think I'd rather have.
I know I want to do Triple M too, but I wanted you to look at that stock chart because I have shares, and I wanted to get a second opinion. Anyway,
yeah.
All right, MMMM it is. Stop talking about stock charts.
Well, let's look at Random stock.
What do they get?
Random has decided to bet big on big tech. NASDAQ, Tech, Cisco, CSCO.
The networking company?
Yep.
Bastards.
Wow. Right at its 52-week high.
Yikes. Okay. Well,
ooh, there's some massive rotations back in March of 22 that it's just coming back up into. I think it's going to have a hard time getting past that.
I think it looks like it's right where we want to see it stall out. So I think fuck off Random.
Oh, you know what else it has?
So,
earnings on the 16th.
God Damn it.
Oh, random, you son of a bitch. Try to pull a fast one on
Damn
us.
it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I hope it's a miss. Because
Well, how often do stocks shoot higher when they're already going up into earnings?
that's true. There's a statistical edge that it drops. If you remember that news article we read, if you believe it.
Oh man, Cisco's had some pretty big moves. It seems like on those earnings lately.
You know, people from AI to cloud emails are using Cisco Sure Traffic networking technology.
Is that what it is? That's how they connect all their supercomputers.
Yeah, right. That's what it is. Yeah.
Might actually be shit. All right, touche, random.
Eat a dick.
I see what you're doing. We do
All
it.
right, we made it.
Did we
We
make
made
it?
it. You can sit
Yeah, we
back,
did.
relax, have the beer and the marijuana that I had before we started recording.
I took out all the coughs.
Oh, good. Thank God. Thanks for sticking around to the end, folks. We sure do appreciate it. We always have a good time. We hope you do too. We're going to go ahead and close up the shop, however. Gotta happen eventually.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a weekend, man. Gotta get out there and enjoy the day.
That's right. We hope you're enjoying your day as you listen to this. And
It'd be really nice if people just hit that 5-star rating, just like Jim Cramer recommended you not to do so, and take care.
happy trades. Two Bulls in a China Shop is an entertainment program, and all thoughts and opinions expressed in the show belong to the hosts and not of any company. They are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide entertainment about stocks in the financial industry of trading. If you make trades based on what you hear in this show, you assume all risks for those trades.